Hi, so this is Providence from Good Guyanese Girl. Thank you for joining me today. I wanted to do just a review, or maybe just to tell you what my favorite Guyanese food spots are in Brooklyn, New York. Now, there are some great places in both Brooklyn and Queens, but I'm only going to focus on a few places that are in Brooklyn, and each of them have their own particular thing that I go to them for. So like any family, everyone cannot make everything. Everybody has their specialty. So because I am pretty domesticated myself, and I love to cook. I love to cook for my family. I've learned recipes from cousins, from my mom, from aunts. So because I know how to cook quite a few things, I feel like I'm a good judge on whether or not something is good when I get it from the restaurant. Now, not everyone's taste is the same, so I'm just going to focus on trying to make this a polite review to highlight the positive things of each of the places that I'm going to talk about. So the first and foremost I want to talk about is baked goods. Baked goods, just because a bakery has a nice smell wafting out of the door does not necessarily mean you are going to have the baked good that's gonna just, you know, take your mind away and make you think about, you know, the beach on Easter in Guyana. That's not gonna happen everywhere that you go. So particularly my favorite places to get baked goods from, the first place is East Coast Remix. They're actually one of my favorite restaurants. They are in Brooklyn, in Crown Heights on St. John's Place, and that's between Utica and Rochester. Utica and Rochester. This is 2 blocks from Eastern Parkway. Okay, so East Coast Remix, they're located at 1456 St. John's Place, and my favorite baked good to get from them is Solara and red bread and pine tarts. They have a decent pine tart, and the cheese rolls are not bad either. Now, I base my judge upon, especially the Solara, not only my own taste, but also my partner's taste. Now, he thinks he's a Solara connoisseur because he cannot resist buying Solara regardless of wherever he goes. And there is another Guyanese shop in the area. I think they're called Tota's, and before he started buying Solara from East Coast Remix, he would always get it from Tota's, but he always had a complaint after he ate it. And then I would also buy Solara from a place called P&S, which is on Utica as well, and which is on Utica, and I plan on telling you more about them as well. But for that shop, they seem to food process the coconut for everything that they make confectionery. All the coconut is like food processed, so that's not always a nice thing, especially when you're eating Solara. So my second place that I want to talk about that I love to get baked goods from is the last place I just mentioned, which is P&S. They are on Utica Avenue in Brooklyn. I don't know what that neighborhood is called, but they're on Utica Avenue between Church and I want to say Snyder is the cross street. P&S is a bakery and restaurant like East Coast Remix, and you can get buns and different kinds of baked goods. You can also get food as well. So, you know, whatever entree you're looking for, if you're looking for a soup, you're looking for a pepper pot, whatever else, they sell it. Now, I will say, not everyone can make everything, but P&S, hands down, that is any bakery that sells baked goods, that's Guyanese in Brooklyn. They make the best bread. Trust me when I tell you. They make a plat bread that when you cook your pepper pot to eat Christmas morning, that's the bread you want to soak up this pepper pot to eat. Trust me, it's delicious, it's buttery, it's a great gift to give. I've given it as gifts many times to friends. I've given it to my hairdresser, and the bread is already half done before I'm done with my visit, because everyone wants a piece of it. It smells good, it tastes delicious, has a great taste, the right amount of sweetness, nice density, it's not dry. Now, I won't say they've always made perfect bread, but I know that I've spoken to the owner one time after having a batch of bread that wasn't that awesome, and he corrected it. The next time I went, it was fantastic. It cost $3.25. Buy your bread early if you're going around Christmas or whatever high holidays Guyanese observe, because this is a problem that they've had as long as I've known them. They would have these lines that would like exist like out the door and down the block, and then they'll put a limit on how much you want to buy. But you know, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that, but the bread is fantastic. So other than that, for bread, I've had Linda's bread, I've had Pam's bread, both of them are on Church Avenue. I've had everyone's bread, and P&S on Utica has the best bread. So I say that to say that you may not necessarily want to buy other pastry goods and bakery goods from P&S, but if you're looking for some great bread, that's the place to go to for that. Now, there are other places I've gone to for bread. It's not so great, but they have other great attributes. So I'm going to tell you about Linda's. Linda's is on Church Avenue, 5322 Church Avenue. It is a storefront. It's flanked by two other storefronts. It's on Church Avenue. It's been there for many years. I don't know how many years. I've never asked them. But the good thing about Linda's Bakery is if you're having an event, baby shower, birthday party, whatever, and you need a large order of roti or dahlpurri by like the next day, if you call them, I want to say up till maybe 5 p.m., 4 p.m. the day before, they can make it happen for you, and you'll be able to pick up your quantity the next day. Whether it's 75 pieces, 50, 100, 200 pieces, they are awesome for that. There's no excuses about it. They'll take the order over the phone, and you can pick it up the next day. So that's an amazing thing for a bakery to have, just for convenience sake. And then I want to zone in and focus in on my all-around favorite restaurant slash bakery, which is East Coast Remix, which I started out with. They're on St. John's Place. Now, aside from just bakery goods, and I won't say that all of the bakery goods are something to write home about, but they can definitely take care of the sweet tooth that you have. They have amazing food, and that is what I cannot say about a lot of other restaurants, regardless of who they are. I've eaten from a lot of them. So East Coast Remix gives you the most back home flavor for food, period. Now, when you eat certain dishes from Guyanese restaurants, it kind of sets the tone for everything else that you will eat from them. Now, you know, at your own discretion, you would decide what you would want to purchase from them. But I'm going to tell you what I've eaten from them and what I've bought for other people and what they've told me about it. So, the Solara is good. It's great. The roti skin, if you're looking just to buy roti, or you're looking just to get like a little bit of curry and roti, a single serving, they do not roll out their oil roti very wide, so it's not going to be a big roti when you get it. But it is enough to satisfy for the sake of the meal. I've had their metem. They make it once a week. They make it Saturday morning, and it is parceled and ready to go when you go there. It's $10 for the matem. It has a generous piece of fried fish on the top, great provision, great milk for you to just enjoy the food. It's awesome. They make cook-up. They always have cook-up. Their cook-up is always good. They usually have it with maybe like a smoked turkey or some kind of corned beef or something like that in it with a peas or a split peas. So their cook-up is good. Their curry is good. Their food all around is good. One thing that I've eaten from them and I was really impressed by the taste and the flavor, especially buying it from a restaurant, is pepper pot. Now, some of us Guyanese, I know, are very funny about certain things. Me personally, I will never buy fish in any other form besides fried from any restaurant. So pepper pot is one of those things where you wouldn't always buy that, you know, when you go out. It's not the first thing that you would think of. But I remember eating it when I was pregnant, and I had my bread from P&S on Utica Avenue, and then I went and got a cup of pepper pot from East Coast Remix. I was really impressed. I was really impressed. If you purchase fried fish from them, like their bangameri or anything like that, you would taste the seasonings, the good grind seasoning that we're accustomed making when we go home. We always want that to come back to the States with. So she's definitely using, and I say she, the owner is a female, she uses a great seasoning when she's frying her fish, and the food all around is good. So the best bread, hands down, anywhere in Brooklyn would be P&S, and they're located on Utica Avenue between Church and Snyder. They have the best bread. And then the best Solara or red bread is coming from East Coast Remix again. Their Solara is wonderful. And for speedy dahlpurri, large quantity orders for an event, to order by the day before and know for sure you can get it the next day just by calling, that will be Linda's. That is on Church Avenue. I hope you guys appreciate the review. I know there is a lot of Guyanese who are here in New York that have not been home in 15+ years. Now, this is not a read, I'm just calling it like it is. So sometimes you just kind of, you just buy something because this is where they say where they're from, but it doesn't necessarily satisfy you. And this review is not to be malicious in any way to any bakery or restaurant here. It is more just to give my opinion for the sake of consumership to people that come and they look for something to eat. Now, I also say that because a lot of people travel. If they come into New York City just for the holiday or just for Labor Day, which is upcoming, or they're visiting family here in New York City, they may be coming from a place where there is not any Guyanese restaurants at all to talk about. Now, that's, and places in Massachusetts, there's places in Connecticut. I mean, they can be very few and far in between. And New York is usually the place people come to, like, shop, to party, to lime. So to be able to find something that you cannot usually get in your state, it's always good to know, this is when I come to New York City, where's a sure bet? So please like and subscribe our channel. You can leave any questions you have down below. I will try my very best to answer them. And thank you for viewing. And this is Providence from Good Guyanese Girl. Have a great one.